Hey. Y'all looked over the thumb. I was thinking about, the division that we have in this country, right? The big division that we have in this country because it's the holiday time, right? And I was just feeling like, man, that's crazy that people, we got this division in the world, this division in this country. What are people actually, doing with family? When the holidays come around, a lot of people assume everybody is wrapped in family and love and laughter and big moments. But the truth is, some folks walk into rooms where they can't even be themselves. If that's you, I want you to know that your worth doesn't shrink just because the people around you cannot see it, does not think you're worth it, right? They lack or their lack of understanding doesn't make you any less deserving of peace, comfort, or joy. You're still whole, still valuable, and still deserve a holiday season with your family. So it's easy to blame yourself when family treats you like an outsider or you get treated like an outsider. I have MAGA relatives too. You know, you wonder what you did wrong. You wonder what they did wrong. Why they can't fit in, why you can't fit in. I have MAGA relatives too. But to put it plainly, you didn't do anything wrong, they didn't do anything wrong. The problem isn't who you are, it's what they refuse to accept. They refuse to accept, or you refuse to accept, whether you're MAGA or you're regular. People who carry that hate around, judgment around, closed-mindedness around in their hearts end up blocking their own blessing. They miss out on knowing who and what or you miss out on who and what they are. And it's your loss or their loss. It's somebody's loss, right? So family is supposed to be a place where you can breathe freely and feel safe, but some people don't have that, right? So I just ran across this video where this guy went to a lot of people and he was asking, what happened to you and your family? You lost your family over MAGA or the MAGA lost the family over you? Which one was it? And I was like, I didn't even know they were doing these kind of things. So,
have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA?
Unfortunately, yes. Context is important. Some of them were really hard.
We just kind of recognize the fact that we don't really have that many family members left that we could really say our family.
I think words can resolve what wars can't, and we need to be able to keep that door open.
Have you lost any friends?
Okay, this is a review of Rick Strom, When Politics Rob You of Family and Friends. He's the first one. Let's go.
Family members to MAGA and like the Donald Trump sphere of content?
Yeah, I think we all have. I mean, childhood buddies that we grew up with that have kind of taken on this bizarre persona. Yes. And I can't quite understand it. But at the same time, my door always remains open for a dialogue. And I'll always have the dialogue because I think words can resolve what wars can't, and we need to be able to keep that door open.
And the last time you had that conversation with that person was when?
I can't quite remember, but it's been definitely more than 6 months.
Okay. So you've kind of gone no contact, or they've gone no contact with you?
It's not a matter of like no contact. It's a matter of like, what do we talk about? Politics isn't everything. You can't talk about the economy. You can't talk about the weather. You can't talk about healthcare. You can't talk about anything without politics coming into it. And when you're talking to somebody who wants to blame Tylenol for autism, you can't have an intelligent conversation with them.
Why do you think they did that? Not that person. I'll leave it there. Not that person, but like the whole autism Tylenol thing.
Structural eugenics. This is structural eugenics. Look, this country has a history of structural eugenics against Black and brown people. And that's being revived. It's why there is this war on healthcare, denial of basic healthcare access. It's why this disinformation on vaccines is prevalent. It's why they're drilling and creating more climate atrocities that disproportionately impact Black, Indigenous, and Latino communities. It's why they're trying to ban abortion altogether. This is structural eugenics. It's to get low-income and Black and brown people out of the mix. And I think it's important that we recognize that Buck versus Bell, a Supreme Court case that allowed structural eugenics against Black people, was never actually overturned. It's less than 100 years ago. And I think people need to understand that this country is not very old, and a lot of the systemic racist eugenicist policies that this country was founded upon are still here, and we cannot ignore them.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and the Donald Trump sphere of content?
No. Well, my in-laws are supporters of the current regime, but I would say that they probably held congruent ideas prior to his election. But yeah, otherwise, no.
And have you had to have difficult discussions with them? And if so, what have those been like?
For the sake of family harmony, the issue of what's happening has been mostly ignored, but I have not hidden what I do as far as protesting. And they are very Midwest nice and just tend to pretend it's not happening.
And have you reached a middle ground?
No, there's no middle ground with fascism.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see how Thanksgiving goes this year.
Gotcha. And in addition, have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA or the content sphere of Trumpism?
No, to be honest. And if I had lost friends, then they probably weren't friends in the first place.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and the Donald Trump sphere of content?
Not in my personal family. We're pretty much all Democrats, okay? And I tell you, and I'm actually not a people person, okay? That's why I'm here by myself all the time. And I'm fine mixing, but I'm not a big rah-rah, so I'll go there and I support and do what I can. But there was a friend of mine, okay, that I had worked with, okay, and he was always a little goofy. But anyway, I used to have a condo with him, okay, then he moved out, got married, okay. Started getting, look, I didn't realize how crazy. And he starts posting stuff about Trump, okay. And he's always—
What year was that?
So this was, I had a condo with him up till 1989. Then he wanted, I got him, and I still kept in
The Trump
contact with
posting stuff.
No, the Trump posting stuff during Trump's first administration.
Okay.
I remember specifically, okay, I was walking with my significant other. We were walking our dog, and we'll look at a post from him. It says, it was the night of the election. I says, okay, it was the next day was the election. Okay. He goes, tomorrow we take back the country. And I texted him, yeah, take it back to 1930s Germany. Well, it turns out that he died of a brain tumor January 1st of this year. So I'm thinking maybe the brain tumor had something to do that made him because, yeah, so okay. I shed no tears for how it's like, I hate that to happen to anybody, but once it does happen, when a person turns, I have no pity.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and the Donald Trump sphere of content?
Yeah, I have a couple of friends that are sort of like, for a long time had sort of been dancing on the like centrist line of like, I don't like the Rogan-y sort of centrist, everybody has a valid opinions kind of line. And I think there's a couple of them on this issue that actually live in Chicago that I feel like it shows the creep of the center towards the right, where they're saying that they're centrists or, that they don't, everybody has, I see the validity in everybody's opinion. But then on things like this, I'm talking to them about people being arrested without warrants, people just being snatched off the street. And they're like, I think that's just a lot of media coverage. I don't know if that's actually happening. And I'm like, dude, I know that building. Like I've seen that building on my street before and there's somebody getting nabbed in front of it. So I don't know. It's just, so yes, I do know people and I don't know what to do about it. It's hard.
Right. You don't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do believe to some degree that talking to people can help change their opinions, but I think as probably a lot of us have seen in the last, 8/1 million years, that it's like really hard to talk to somebody to change their opinion when they have an opinion, which it would be hard to change my opinion about it too. So I don't know what the answer is there.
Have you lost any friends or family members to a hyper conservative content sphere or anybody that you've had to go no contact with for going too far politically?
That's what we're saying about the Republicans. No thought whatsoever. You just vote Republican. So it's the same on both sides. You guys are no better than the Democrats. You don't think for yourselves either. Same way.
Contact with for going too far politically?
No, not at all. The most closest thing I have to hyper-conservative relatives are Like I have a half brother who lives in California. He was actually a federal agent for part of his career. So he also knows they're full of baloney, a lot of them, because he was one who would investigate them to find out they were full of baloney. He was some sort of DOJ agent.
Soon as I realized that the Republicans don't help the middleman or don't help the poor, the middle poor that makes between 30,000 and 50,000. As soon as I figured out they never do anything to help those people, the middle class people, and they only help the rich, I was done with the Republicans. Soon as I heard that, soon as I figured out you don't want to help nobody in the middle, you just want to help the rich, I was done with the Republicans.
Yeah, he was about as conservative as they get, and he also knows not to believe the media spin you see out here, like on Fox News and whatnot. They put out that we are hardcore leftist Antifa and Trantifa storming the battlements and whatnot, when these are a bunch of flower children out here. That's all I saw out here. I also want to point out something a little ironic about what you see here. Please. You see how there's a concrete wall there? Early on, there was a lot of coverage of Broadview suing the government about a fence they put up there. The fence the feds put up had a gate in it, right? So Broadview said that having that fence there created a fire hazard.
Nobody has ever met an Antifa person. Ain't nobody ever met an Antifa person. But everybody has an opinion about Antifa. And they never met one Antifa person whatsoever. Don't know nothing about Antifa. I bet you nobody knows a personal person called Antifa who belongs to the Antifa group. They heard all of that on Fox News and from this president. Ain't not one person met an Antifa person or know anything. I mean, it's supposed to be, Antifa is supposed to be this big organization that is taking over the country and doing all kinds of bombing and doing all kinds of killing and murder. Ain't nobody seen none. Don't nobody know none. Ain't nobody talk to none. But we got Antifa running all over the country. You know, if we would have had that many Antifa, people would know some Antifa. Wouldn't you know some Antifa? Somebody would know some. If we had that many, like they keep saying.
But having a concrete freaking wall there doesn't.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that is ironic.
Yeah. I would really like it if someone in the media would get an explanation of that. And I also want to ask your viewers to do something. Please. As a Libertarian Party member, I know we're probably not going to win any kind of election for something like Congress around here. But if you're in Chicagoland, if you're in the 7th District, we have something like 17 people running for Danny Davis's seat. Make sure we nominate someone who's going to push for an investigation of what happened in that building and the abuses of our civil rights that happened outside that building. Okay? If you're in the Democratic Party, your nominee is probably who's going to win, and they can make a difference in this that no one else can.
Have you lost any friends or family members to the MAGA sphere of content and Trumpism?
God, yeah. I have a lot of brothers. I actually am one of 6 kids, and I have all brothers. Okay. And I don't speak to a lot of my brothers at the moment. Yes, them and Charlie Kirk, besties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that the moment where you had to break off contact?
That was. I think before, because they weren't a big Trump supporter. It wasn't like Trump was their big thing, but yeah, for some reason, Charlie Kirk pulled them out of the woodwork.
Why?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know why that was such a connecting force. I don't know why the hate he spewed awoke something in them.
Right.
But yeah, it was devastating to see.
Yeah.
Still is.
Yeah, the hate he spewed woke a lot of people up. The hate he spewed woke a lot of people up to the hate that they either had in them and they wanted to use it, or the hate that they felt, and then they had to look at themselves.
And so have you had a conversation with any of them after that?
I've tried. It kind of seems like it's a brick wall sometimes.
What would you say to them to try to break the ice?
I think our grandmother raised us better than that. I think if our grandma was still alive and could see what they were posting on Facebook, she would be ashamed.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and the Donald Trump sphere of content?
For sure. And I like what I really like though is that I am finding edge cases where people are maybe about to really dig into the MAGA sphere, and I'm able to just like kind of like moderate them into not doing that. But I've definitely lost people, friends and family, to the MAGA sphere.
And what has that been like? And also, what was the breaking point?
Oh, so it kind of depends on the person, right? Context is important. Some of them were really hard. Like, so I lost a cousin who, he just unfriended me one day. Like, we went back and forth on trans rights stuff, and he's just like gone, didn't show up to any more family gatherings. And that really sucked. But I think like the turning point is isolation. And I think that's how they get people, is like, how isolated are you and just being fed with like, the dopamine hits of the social media? That feels like the major turning point.
Yeah, it is a major turning point. Because I just got on this internet maybe 2 years ago, and I knew as soon as I got on this internet that it was full of people who had been fed, a whole bunch of bullshit, had been fed this red pill shit, been fed this Donald Trump shit, had been fed this turning point shit. As soon as I got on here and started talking to people, I was like, oh Lord. Bunch of people have been brainwashed on this place.
For people, it's just repeated isolation.
So it was trans rights that was the breaking point for that one cousin. What was he or she saying?
So he was saying something along the lines of like, it was just kind of your normal rhetoric of, I posted this thing about how fish,
Normal rhetoric. This is the normal rhetoric we get from the MAGA people. He's about to say it.
Can change gender, like on my stories. And him and I were just kind of going back and forth. And I had to like walk him through again, like, not all women can get pregnant. Not all women have XY chromosomes. Not all women, or have XX chromosomes. And so just kind of like walking through all that. He did not take kindly to everything. He was listening at first, and then him and I got catty. And that's when he was like, no, I'm out. So,
what do you mean catty? What happened?
Yeah, so it was like, I think one or both of us called each other betas at one point, and then that was when he was like, "No, I'm out. I'm unfriending." All right, if you can't take it, don't dish it. So
yeah. And was that the only person that sort of disassociated?
That was a major person. I've had like other friends who maybe were in my spheres who left, but that was probably the biggest draw, was that one family member for sure.
Have you lost any friends or family members to the Donald Trump sphere of content and MAGA?
I almost did. When I voted and put it on Facebook that I voted for, hang on, I don't want to say her name wrong. I'm just going to say for Harris. Uh-huh. When I was contacted by a close family member and got it into an argument, but then as months went on, we didn't need to hash that out, because again, I think that Indiana, a lot of the people get counted up in that group of people that don't usually vote, or who are just going to go with an emotion vote. And I believe that this person in my life was an emotion vote
for
Trump. So
they're all emotional votes, because the first thing they bring up is what did Stankonia just bring up? What is a woman? Always got to be doing the cultural war thing. It's never about the policy and what the president can do for you policy wise. It's always those Democratic lefties like gay people. The Democratic lefties can't tell you what a woman is. The Democratic lefty just want illegals inside of here. It's never about policy. It's always about their emotions, because they get triggered about gays, trans, excuse me, about immigrants. They get triggered about that. It's never about policy. They can't name one policy.
Definitely voted, and thought that I was ridiculous for voting for Harris, and the conversation devolved into abortion, and because the points I was making, and so I was shocked because we never talked politics ever. And yeah, so I thought, well, it just seemed very, it was so out of the blue that I think that this MAGA has made people do things that they wouldn't have done before. But that means that they can also start thinking differently, because I bet you, because he's working class too, I bet you he's out there seeing, hey, this shit's expensive and my life hasn't gotten any better. So yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't get into the weeds with you, MAGAs. Don't get into the weeds with y'all because you don't know how to debate. You only know how to bring up you only know how to bring up cultural things. I don't care, and most liberals don't care about cultural things. We care about the policy and how the country is run. And none of y'all come up with any of the policies. You cannot defend any of his policies. The first thing you do is sex, sex, sex. The first thing you
So
do.
you're holding out hope.
I am holding out hope. So the people in my life are still, I have just a tight circle.
Wait a minute, white man from town. Ain't you in my stream? Why the hell are you in here? You need to get out of here. That's what you need to do. You need to get out of here. I don't send out no invitation for you to come over here. Nobody sends out any invitation for anybody to show up. You show up because you want to show up. Why are you over here talking if you don't want to be over here? Just over here for no reason. Because you don't like what I'm saying. Why is it that you don't like what I'm saying, but you over here? That's wild. Please hit the like and share button. We have content like this every day. We're just going over people who have lost family members and people because their family members are MAGA. That's it. We only going over the things that we have seen. This is the content from Rick Strom. He said there's a lot of people out there who have lost family and friends because their relatives are MAGA. And the only thing I said was, whenever there's a conversation with a MAGA person, it's always something regarding culture wars. It's never about policy. It's always culture. And the first thing they do is come in the chat and crash out. Oh, you're so dumb. You're so stupid. You're lying. No, I'm not lying. Because the first thing you all do is come over here talking about what's a woman. Who you're having sex with. Is he gay? Is he trans? You never come over here about policy because you can't argue the policy. You always want to argue the culture. We don't care about the culture. Liberals care about the policy and how our country is running. And you have a degenerate at the wheel. You have a terrible president at the wheel, but you just can't admit it. I get it. I do. Don't worry about it.
Circle of family, and so that's still there. Now, I'm not saying that there weren't people who didn't vote for Trump, but they weren't
over here talking for no reason. Why are you still here, white man down or whatever your name is? White man from town. Why are you still over here? Nobody needs to be over here. I turn on the stream and I talk when I want to talk. So that's who it is. So nobody's watching. Good for me. Good for me, white man from town. Good for me. I'm glad you have. Yes, completely and utterly nuts. Good for you.
And
yes, I see you some other day, white man from town. Seeing as how you don't know how to stay away from my stream. I see you some other day. You all hit the like and share button, please, and thank you. We have this content every day about some relevant topic. We always have this content. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much.
I wouldn't say they were MAGA.
You sort of answered this question, but have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and the Donald Trump sphere of content?
I've definitely lost a couple of friends. Our friendship just kind of fizzled out. Didn't talk to them. Once I moved out from my hometown, moved to a bigger city, I just kind of left that all behind. I didn't want that anymore. As family members, it just got to the point where I just don't interact with them. If I see them at a family gathering, just say hi, and that's kind of it. It's kind of the same way with
How dare they? How dare they? How dare we liberals have different opinion from you Republicans, from you maggots? How dare you? I speak my opinion on here. You don't like it? So I'm the dumb one, right? But you over here listening. That's wild.
my family will all just kind of view as as every day has passed through with this administration, we just kind of recognize the fact that we don't really have that many family members left that we could really say are family, and it hurts. Like I said before, my mom and we have all our family back in Mexico. We on a handful of times we got to meet them in person, and we come back here and our family doesn't even want to act like we're a part of their family. And even my mom, who I believe, she's tried to give our family members so many chances to understand it, seeing how she's had to come to terms with the reality that they're just not going to change, it hurts, because I know for such a long time growing up, she would have just loved to be able to see her family, but this is what the family she has now. So I don't know how much more family we're going to lose, depending on how far this goes. We're barely a year into this administration, so we'll see. But I wouldn't count on it, to be honest.
Do you remember what the breaking point was?
I think a lot of breaking points were just the cages with the first Trump administration, and just like thinking in my head, like, there's no way people would actually defend.
I don't know. I think he did this. He did all of these interviews, I guess, a week ago. I'm not sure when he did it. I have no idea. I'm just looking at his tape.
There's no way my family would defend this. They know we're immigrants, and seeing how they just didn't care at all, and just seeing how Trump and the rest of his administration has just crossed every single line, and they haven't budged a single time. And with something like that, when Charlie Kirk got shot, I had family members. I was interested. I was like, "What are you guys saying?" And unsurprisingly to me, they were posting on Facebook, "Oh, it's a shame. He stood for what's right. He stood for Christianity." And it's like, I know you guys. None of you guys are actual Christians. You guys have a whole bunch of problems. You want to talk about criminals and how immigrants are criminals. Your dad has DOIs. Your mom beat the shit out of you when you were a kid. Like, don't act like you're fucking holier than thou. You're not. I'm not a Christian. I don't try to pretend to be like they do. That's where I think that really just kind of set off the tipping point for me, was just seeing how they want to portray themselves as this average American white Christian families that they love to act like they are, when in reality they're no better than anybody else than I know growing up.
Of course, no family is better. No family has a right to put themselves above every other family. No family has a right to do that, but they are your family. So you got to deal with your family the way you want to deal with your family. It is what it is. I have family members that are MAGA too, but I'm different.
And that's just kind of been a tipping point, and having to argue with them about ICE now, and how, like, just seeing how they won't even budge on that is just, it kind of just put in my head that I'm not going to be sticking around with you guys much longer.
Have you lost any friends or family members to the Donald Trump content sphere and the MAGA movement?
Oh yeah, I grew up conservative. I grew up like conservative Christian. So when I started moving pretty left, yeah, it's just been an ongoing cleanse. Yeah.
And what was that like when you moved further to left and they stayed where they were?
I mean, it's pretty wild to see people like unable to confront information that they don't like, and just being
always don't want to confront information that you like. That's a first indicator. When you give out facts, they don't want to accept them. When I say stuff like, every step of the way, this president has done criminally minded things, then I look in the chat, and then I have people saying, "You're a liar. He's the best president ever." Not willing to accept facts for what they are. Criminally minded presidency. This is what this is.
Unwilling to see it. I mean, it's a cult. It's a cult. Even before Donald Trump, it was a cult. So I don't think people realize how long the Heritage Foundation and the evangelical sphere has been gearing up. They've been fighting for this power since the Civil Rights Act.
Yes, they've been fighting to overtake the country and make the country more conservative. We are not trying to be conservative. Do I call them Matt? No, I don't have conversations with them unless they come and talk to me. If they come and talk to me, then fine. Oh, I have a daughter who's a MAGA. I have a daughter who's a MAGA too. I have a daughter. She can't. Did she come over for Thanksgiving? We don't talk about politics because she knows better. She knows better. She and I sat down and had a conversation. I sat down and I told her, I said, maybe you should look at some of my shows. Maybe you should look at X, Y, and Z. Oh, no, 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 no. Because that's all fake news. That's the first thing out of her mouth. They all fake news. Nope, nope, nope. So, respectfully, she stands over in that corner, and I stand over in this corner.
And now they have it. They're not going to let it go. And these people are like very, very brainwashed. It's very ingrained in them. So, yeah, that's the fight.
Can you have a conversation with them about politics?
Yeah, I do. I say, you maggots. I say that in front of her. She knows where I stand. She knows where I stand exactly.
No. I mean, I think no. Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, my brother will start to talk to me about now he's pro-Palestine, but then it comes with anti-Semitism, and I'm like, I cannot even engage in this conversation. No, you get a little bit, but then it comes back with a never mind.
Does he?
We can't do the far off conversation. We cannot. Us liberals cannot go down these rabbit holes that you MAGAs going to take us down. We can't go down those rabbit holes with you. We've been down those rabbit holes. We already know what's down the rabbit holes. So when you say, well, what's a girl? I can't engage. Why do y'all allow people in the bathroom and it's a guy? I can't with you. I cannot with you because that's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Okay? We have bigger fish to fry on this planet besides who goes in the bathroom, X, Y, and Z. We have bigger fish to fry. Okay?
You watch Nick Fuentes?
I don't know. I would not ask. Okay. I don't.
You just fear knowing that answer?
I don't want to know. I don't. I actually think he has sent me some videos of Nick Fuentes to be like, look, he's also, and I'm like, stop saying, I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it. Yeah.
Have you had to go no contact with any friends or family over it?
I mean, I'll block my mom if she doesn't stop talking, for just a couple days, just so she can go talk to herself. But then I unblock. It's not permanent. I understand. These people are also victims of a system that's using them to enact their own violence. I don't see them as the problem. I just see them as people who are also being used. So yeah.
Have you lost any friends or family members to the MAGA sphere of content and Donald Trump isms?
No, other things that are connected to the MAGA sphere, but not directly. I choose not to associate with people family and friends that have that. So those are relationships that were already kind of damaged.
We don't care about that what's a woman thing. We don't really care about that what's a woman thing. That's on the right. You all concern yourself. See, the whole thing is trying to guilt people into feeling like you all want us to feel. You want us to feel guilty because we accept other people. You want us to feel guilty because we accept people who say they're this and that. You want us to feel guilty. We don't.
So,
was it tough to go no contact and just break it off completely?
Never even met them. Don't even know what a transgender look like except on TV. Just like a lot of people in certain spaces ain't never seen no black people up front. They have all kinds of ideas of how black people are. That's wild to me, Rainbow.
With some, but mostly no. I don't relate to folks like that, who don't see the humanity in others and don't appreciate.
Yeah, that's exactly it, Nick Groves 8 thing. While you're arguing about where we put our dick, where somebody puts their gender, where somebody does everything else, we're worrying about fixing society. That's primarily a person on the left. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make society better for everybody. We ain't worried about what's a woman. That's wild to us.
Our shared humanity.
Please hit the like and share and subscribe. We have this content every day. I am on during the day, maybe 2-3 o'clock, and then I'm come back later in the evening. So this is a show we got tonight. Please and thank you. Hit the like, share, subscribe. Please and thank you.
So yeah.
What do you think it'll take for them to see the light?
I don't think they will be able. I mean, if it hasn't happened now, it's probably not going to happen. So yeah.
Have you lost any friends or family members to the Donald Trump MAGA sphere of content?
Unfortunately, yes. I've been blocked on Facebook quite a few times. And to be honest with you, I'll be lying if I say I haven't either. I muted people just because simply I have family members.
Nick, this is the richest country in the world. One of the richest countries in the world. Why is it that we cannot give everybody education, food, and shelter? I'm still confused about that. And we have people in the chat talking about y'all just want free shit. Make it make sense. Y'all just want free shit in the richest country in the world.
Members who are immigrants, and I see this pro-ICE, anti-immigration posts that are coming up, and it's just not healthy for my mental health, not healthy for their mental health. I work in parishes, and I do notice that a bunch of the kids that I do work with are undocumented, and just trying to have empathy for them is hard to see when you see somebody wishing for their downfall. It's horrible.
Have you lost any friends or family members to MAGA and the Donald Trump sphere of content?
I luckily have not, so, I know many friends who have, but, I don't have any, family who's MAGA. So, maybe like adjacent, distant relatives perhaps, but no one who's very close.
Okay. Have you lost any friends or family members to the Donald Trump sphere of content?
Wait, say this again?
Have you lost any friends or family members to the
Oh.
Donald Trump sphere of content?
No. Luckily, I don't have any friends or family that, I mean, they're all, we all think very similarly about this.
Right.
But I think it's very terrible for people who have people they love who are on this other side of this huge divide. It's very terrible.
Yes.
I'm really glad I'm not one of them.
Have you lost any friends or family members to the Donald Trump sphere of content and the MAGA way of life?
Yes. I hate to say it, but their relatives have gone to the dark side. So what can we try and talk? But it's how it goes. You talk to somebody that's there's on the other side of the spectrum. It's really hard to get communication going that's meaningful. And so I don't know. I guess you just gotta hope and be non-confrontive. At least that's probably the only way to go.
And what were those conversations like when you tried to have them?
Well, I have to tell you that it hasn't worked very well. But it's such a inflammatory conversation that it's really hard to get something going. So I would say that I haven't been real successful, but I think it's important to try.
Are you still trying?
Yes.
Yeah, you still try. We still try. But every time you jump into the conversation, it's like, okay, I'll say something like I'll say Trump said X, Y, and Z. Trump did X, Y, and Z. And then they'll immediately come back and say, well, Obama, well, Biden, it'll be immediately like that. Like, it's just like a wall. I don't get
Crime
it.
in the United States is done by.
It's like a wall that we can't penetrate. It's just a wall. Okay.
Crime in the United States is done by black people is something your simple uncle who's watched too much Charlie Kirk Facebook clips would say. When they bring this up, tell them that black Americans do not commit half of all crime in the United States. FBI arrest data shows that they account for about 26% of arrests, not 50%. And also add that their disproportionate representation in some crime statistics reflect deeper issues like poverty, policing patterns, and systematic inequalities, not a genetic attraction to crime. Just screenshot this FBI data for later.
Oh, I love that. I gotta say it. I gotta keep that in mind. He said a genetic attraction to crime. That's what they think. Because you're black or whatever, you have a genetic attraction to crime. Shut up. I love it.
What you should show them is these stats on conviction rates and ask them why Caucasian people get away with so much crime. If they ask for a specific example, bring up Brock Turner or Jesse Butler. Just Google their names. Do it after the video. If your inebriated uncle brings up how the economy is doing better under Trump, tell them that under Donald Trump, economic metrics have worsened in his first term and his second term already. And it's especially noticeable when factoring in the national debt. By the end of his first presidency, U.S. gross federal debt rose from about $19 trillion to roughly $27 trillion, an increase of roughly $7.8 trillion. It now stands at $37 trillion, And $4 trillion of that has been added just this year when he signed the big baloney bill. Trump has also stopped reporting detailed monthly job reports, while major companies across tech, retail, and manufacturing continue to announce waves of layoffs, undercutting his claims of a strong labor market. But it's the golden age, am I right? If there were good numbers, I promise you that they would show them to us. If you have any other defenses that
Yes.
you need, any talking points.
Yes, that's my argument exactly. If the Trump administration had good numbers, job numbers, they would be showing them to us. But they don't. Every month for 84 years, we have gotten a jobs numbers report from this president, from the presidency. Trump, this is the first time that a president has not given us the numbers, the monthly numbers. This is terrible. I got a feeling, I know we are way in trouble.
That you need, leave them in the comments. I do this stuff for fun and I'm happy to help. Happy Thanksgiving.
All right, yeah, we're gonna leave, kids.
Oh, typical liberals can't handle another person's opinion. Right, yeah,
No,
leave.
We're not liberals. I mean, we're just moderate Democrats. But yeah, we do have opposing views, and we didn't have anything wrong with it before. You know, you got Republicans, Democrats, Green Party, Purple Party. Everyone's different in the family. It's fine. But it's like what you're doing now is just so ridiculous. I mean, what's going on?
What? It's nice. What are you talking about? It's just a normal Thanksgiving. I mean, yeah, we're rubbing it in your face that Trump won, but it's Thanksgiving. It's just Thanksgiving. It's normal.
Is this Thanksgiving or Trumpsgiving?
Well, it's a combination of
turkey has a Trump mask on it. I mean, what do you guys do?
It's Thanksgiving.
It's not even appropriate for children. There's young children here, and you have a very violently descriptive image or meme or whatever poster over there of Donald Trump shitting all over Joe Biden's face. I don't. I mean, it's like AI. I mean, but it's vivid. I mean, there's kids here.
Whatever, liberal.
I do not spend Thanksgiving with my family because my family's all MAGA and I'm gay, etc. And here's the thing, here's the freaking rub, egg on my face, because you would think that because I'm not spending my Thanksgiving with my MAGA family, that it's like I'm escaping all of the turmoil and fighting. You would think that I'm free. You would think I've set myself free by refusing to attend, but because what did I just do for the last 45 minutes while I was getting ready for my Friendsgiving? I had imaginary arguments with my conservative extended family in my head. I'm actually so heated right now by these hypothetical arguments. I was dipping in and out. I was bobbing and weaving. I was pulling out statistics. I was pulling out anecdotes. I was pulling out, arguments in their own skewed Christianity worldview. I was using those things against them. I was flipping things. I was Uno reversing. I was turns tabling. Me and my uncle in my head just really got into it about Snap. Me and one of my Republican aunts, we had this huge fight about trans women in sports. I'm telling you, I literally just enacted all of the Thanksgiving table fighting that I was trying to avoid. I just acted all of it out in my head, and now I'm so heated because I don't actually have a real world outlet for said hypothetical fighting energy. I'm so annoyed about these hypothetical argumentative conversations that just took place within my mind palace, more like my mind prison. What is the point of sitting out your family's MAGA Thanksgiving if you're still going to be irritated about hypothetical political debates? Anyway, if I had just gone home, I could have at least enjoyed my Republican aunt's amazing mac and cheese recipe.
And so this is Christmas.
I've seen on my timeline in a while. Cue the video.
Oh, hey.
Christopher fucking Columbus! Are you fucking with me right now? The pilgrims, the Indians, Christopher, and put in cages. God cares about men and women being whisked away from their home with no court order. God was an immigrant. Yeah, yes, he was. God.
You know what? A golf twiddler. You know what? I could actually deal with the Republicans if I wouldn't have found out that that Donald Trump put razor wire in the water in Texas. So kids and people crossing the border would hurt themselves. I could almost think about that putting a fence around this country until I found out that's exactly what the president did. Put barbed wire in the water. That's wild.
Was an immigrant. Ain't no motherfucking drugs that we smart with this
Man,
shit.
why y'all keep playing this music?
I get sprayed. I get sprayed.
Oh, okay. She went to the house with that shirt on.
I don't know Katie from a can of paint, but I'm about to follow her. Because she's my type of stand. Yes, ma'am, that is my type of carrying on. And for her mom to make that Facebook post talking about she knows my political views, girl, fuck your political views. For real.
All right, so as you know, I was super excited to confront these MAGA family members that I had yesterday, but it did not go as planned.
I am so slow trolling King USA. I'm real slow trolling King. So what? We real slow over here.
And first of all,
so people like
follow,
you can catch
share,
up.
because I'm trying to hit 10,000 by the 1st, and I need like 400 more. Okay, but back to my peoples. First of all, there's 3 of them. Okay, there's one who is like super diehard, believes every single thing that Trump or Fox News says, like literally is high on the Kool-Aid. She is a lost cause. And she didn't even show up. Meow ass didn't even show up. Like, she already knew what was up. All right, so then the second one that says like, oh, I'm not a Trump supporter. I just didn't vote for Kamala. I didn't feel like she was ready. And, you know, last time under Trump, I did really good financially, like before COVID, which I don't think is like his fault. So I just felt like, you know, financially, I would be good again. They walk in the door like, I don't feel like we should discuss politics or religion. They're so divisive, and you know, we just want to have a happy family. Nah, but that's not the shit that you was talking last year. Last year, you was all happy. It was right after election, and you had all this smoke and all these laughs and all these jokes and stuff for all of us who knew what the fuck we were doing and voted for the woman. All right. They all of a sudden don't want to discuss politics. They haven't been watching. They're not keeping up. And, you know, so they're not educated about what's going on. You know what's going on. You know what's going on. All right. And then, you know, shout out to the third one who, for the longest, did not tell us that they voted for Trump. We figured it out by little things that they were saying, but they never, like, actually came out and said they were a Trump supporter until we called them on their shit. Like, did you vote for that man? Did you vote for that man? And then finally, they had to be like, well, I didn't really know. And then, you know, this. All right. So anyway, shout out to him though, because he was the only one who came in the door and was like, a motherfucker just was wrong. A motherfucker was wrong. And I wish I didn't vote like that. So shout out to him. But that's basically what happened. The one in the middle, we was still giving him smoke. Like, you ain't gonna come in here and be like, oh, I don't want to talk about it. We talking about it. But he, at some point, like really early on, he kind of just disengaged, and that's when he started being like, well, I'm not really keeping.
I can't stand that talking. That talking is wild.
Or something. I might just probably roll up to her house just to mess with her. We'll see what happened with your family. Bye.
That talking is wild.
Get ready with me for Thanksgiving with MAGA. First things first, you're going to need a shirt that's provoking. Mine says, keep the immigrants, support the racists. If you're offended by this, then you're a racist. I'm also going to be bringing stuffing vegan style, and I'm going to label it woke stuffing. As soon as I walk in the door, I'm going to announce to everyone that I parked in the spot that was reserved for Patriots only.
Patriots only.
Turkey, I'm going to say, this is the only white meat that I'll tolerate. When they ask me what I'm grateful for, I'm going to tell them I'm grateful for all the social programs that they pretend they don't use. Every time someone mentions the economy, I'm going to whisper, corporate greed. At the end of grace, I'm going to say, bless this meal and universal health care. While we're eating dinner, I'm going to clap aggressively every time someone uses a big word correctly. Every time someone starts talking about a conspiracy theory, I'm going to respond with, oh, sweetheart, who told you that? Every time someone mentions Trump's name, I'm going to whisper, felon. When everybody's ready for games after dinner, I'm going to ask if we can play name one thing Biden did to personally ruin your life.
Right.
When it comes time for dessert, I'm going to bring a pie and I'm going to label it made with abortions. It's cherry filling. Have fun celebrating the slaughter of indigenous people, you fuckwits.
I love it. Oh, shit. That's all you got to say is the freaking culture wars. And then their head explodes. The head explodes when you talk about the culture wars because they don't, the Republicans, they don't, not Republicans, it's the MAGAs. You don't stand for anything. Because that's all you have is the culture wars. That's it. That's it.
Mom, can you you still live in can you pass me the Epstein files?
Hey, Mom, can you pass me the Epstein files?
Wait a minute. What?
Was your Thanksgiving with the MAGAs real quiet this year? Because mine was, and it was so heartening.
It's just everything. Everything you talk about. We hate the gays. We hate the trans. We hate the brown. We hate the black. We hate the immigrants. We hate the Islamic. We hate the Muslims. Everything. We hate. That's why I say you MAGAs don't stand on anything. We hate. You come in my chat and you crash out. No respect for anybody. Nobody is saying anything beyond what we're saying. You crash out in people's chats. You first thing you say is we hate gays, we hate trans, we hate Muslims, we hate immigrants, we hate all of that. We hate all of that. And then they wonder why we can't really stand to be around them because it's always something that they don't stand for. Because you don't stand for anything. So we don't respect you all. They don't get respect. It's a matter of not having respect. You don't have respect for us and we don't have respect for you all. Because because it's like you live in zombie land. And it's a zombie land. Wow. Look at Sergeant Wood Chipper. Just hit the chat and he crashing out already. Don't know nothing about the chat. Don't know nothing about the channel and they crashing out. I can fucking predict it. Every time I open a chat, we have a MAGA who comes in here crashing out. Every time.
To see them
and then they wonder
unable
why we have a
to
problem
have
with
the same passion for Donald this year. They're giving up. Okay, the Congress and Senate are giving up, and the everyday followers are giving up. The signs are down.
Yeah, absolutely. I sure do. I love it. That's amazing. You come in crashing out. Amazing. Zombies crashing out.
They're not wearing the hats. The T-shirts are barely seen. There's a guy that's a couple towns over from me that owns an Italian restaurant. I don't even think he's Italian. That has a truck that's all dolled up with Donnie stuff. He's usually always there. I think he switched vehicles. Honestly, I don't think he's there representing anymore. It's good to see. And I have a feeling, judging by the photos I've seen of Donnie this week, that we're in for a little Christmas miracle. It's going to be better than Home Alone 1 and 2 combined because he's looking real pale, real weak, and real tired.
Hey, Grandma, where's the bathroom? The abortion pill I took this morning is kicking in. No, it's fine. This is my 4th this month. Can I say grace this year? Awesome. Dear Lord Satan. Grandpa, have you ever tried doing drag? You have such great cheekbones. What do I do for work? No, I don't work. Big Gretch hand delivers me a welfare check every week and gives me a big gay smooch on the mouth. I have pics. Do you want to see? Hey, Uncle Steve, now that you're divorced, do you think you'll give gay a try? But you said it's a choice. Why would you choose women when they don't like you? Did anyone bring gender hormones? Shoot. Do you think the pharmacy's open? All right, everybody, I gotta go. I signed up to hand deliver aborted fetuses to AOC. You know how she gets when she's hungry.
She's back. Yeah.
Uninvited with 22,000 emails to prove their guy is in the files. Wow. I love it.
To the ground! My family's dead! What do I do? I'm gonna find you, motherfucker.
If you have MAGA family members and they bring up Charlie Kirk on Thanksgiving and say the left killed him, pretend like you don't know who Charlie.
No, telling someone the truth. You didn't say any truth. Trolling. You're just a zombie. I don't listen to zombies. None of y'all come with any truth. You come with cultural bullshit. You don't come with any facts. You don't come with any policies. You come with cultural stuff. Nobody cares about cultural stuff. Only you care about cultural stuff. That's why we call y'all zombies.
Charlie Kirk is. Make them explain him to you. Who's Charlie Kirk? Is that like Captain Kirk's son or something? So he debated at colleges? Who is he? Why would anyone debate him? Like, what's special about him? No, he debated everybody? Well, doesn't everyone already do that on the internet? What did he debate about?
Nothing to really debate about. Nothing really to debate about. See, so dealing with family is wild. We all have that MAGA family, right? The whole point is to know what you're arguing about and know what it's worth. What's worth arguing about and what's not. See, we don't find talking about men, women, trans, all of that. We don't find that worth talking about. The point is, we're not going to change your mind. We're not trying to change your mind. So we're going to pick our battles constantly. So if we have to avoid MAGA family, I guess we're going to have to avoid MAGA family. Then we have to set those boundaries where we don't have to talk to y'all about those things. Because y'all don't bring up anything else. Because you have nothing else to stand on. My whole point is, if I want to talk about policy, I don't want to talk about whether I know what a female is or whether I know what gender is or whether I want to know what X, Y, and Z is. You can't have a rational conversation with people who keep bringing those things up. Okay? Everybody has toxic family members. I get it. Everybody has toxic family members. The hardest part about it is the disagreements. I get it. It's the disrespect. Because a lot of people get disrespected. I don't know why people feel the need to disrespect people when we have different types of politics. They come in my chat disrespectful for no reason. They come in and they're disrespectful for no reason. Okay? And it has nothing to do with that. That's the way you were raised. That's the way you were raised. Okay? Has nothing to do with me. You don't know how to have it come in and have a decent conversation. We can't help you. Because you're going to continue to lose family over, people are going to continue to lose family over MAGA, over family over MAGA. Okay? They're going to continue to do that. Okay? They suck. Everybody suck. Democrats suck. Republicans suck. It is what it is. But I can't wait till Wednesday morning when I come back. And then we can talk about what happened on Tuesday night. Okay, we can talk about that. Toxic relatives. There's nothing wrong with not dealing with toxic relatives. Okay, nothing wrong with that. That's the hardest part of getting rid of family, is the toxic relatives that we got to deal with. Toxic because you don't know how to argue. MAGA doesn't know how to argue. They don't want to talk about policy. They don't want to talk about what kind of trash this president is. They don't want to talk about the trash policies that he has in place that doesn't help the middle class. They don't want to talk about anything other than gays, trans. They only want to talk about the cultural things. We have bigger fish to fry in this country than to deal with the cultural things. Okay? We have bigger fish to fry. Okay? But yet we cannot get them on the same page as to say, this is what this president is doing. We don't want to lose family over this garbage. Don't lose your family over this garbage. Don't lose your family over goofy people. Just pretend like they don't exist until you got to talk to them. Okay? Just pretend like they don't exist until you got to deal with them, right? This is crazy. You know, you come in and you crash out. You crash out. Chicken lipstick, 4 chicken lipstick. Are you a Democrat? Are you a Democrat? Democrats cannot even explain how democracy works. The opinions of the 51% will never control the lives of 49%. So how does it work? It's delusional. We're always delusional. We're always the left is always delusional to you all. It never has a logic. It never is logical. We're always crashing out about cultural issues. That's the problem. You're always trying to dictate morality to everybody except keep your own morality to yourself. That's what we keep trying to tell you all, but you all just won't accept it. Your morality is your morality. Why is it that y'all can't seem to get that the left does not believe in you all's morality? We all have different moral codes. Yours is no better than mine. We have an argument every time. Every time. When people go to college, they tend to grow up leftists. And they tend to grow out of the garbage that they grow up with. Okay? This is why. Yeah, if you follow the law, then you're a Republican by definition. Is he wild? Mr. Nobody, nowhere? Are you wild? That's wild. We have delusion in the chat, guys. We have serious delusion in the chat. What the person said was, if you're a Republican, then you automatically believe in the law. Then why is it that your president is right now being charged with ending the lives of people in the Caribbean from a boat, and then they're trying to defend that they gave an order to kill? If he's such a stand-up guy, this is the problem that we have today. Okay? This is the problem that we have today. We're on one side, and you're on the other side. And people normally don't run away from the liberals. It's the liberals running away from the MAGAs. Okay? I'm not defending any politician that makes money. I think the rich are against the poor. I think that's the way it works. I think we all need to figure that out and act accordingly. So it is what it is. If you have a family member that you have lost because they're on the other side of MAGA, they're on the other side that you cannot seem to reach them. You cannot seem to reach them, and they cannot seem to reach you. Don't lose your family over religion. Try not to lose your family over religion. Try not to lose your family over Donald Trump. Try not to lose your family over this silly cultural war, because this is what it is. It's a cultural war. Every time we have conversations with MAGAs, they bring up cultural things. When we have bigger fish to fry than cultural things, we have bigger fish to fry. Okay? And if you have bigger fish to fry than the cultural wars, we won't have these kind of fights. But we're trying to bring people around. I say we are digging into it because people are losing, or Republicans are losing. The people, they're losing the war. The Trump people are losing the war because they keep losing their base. My thing is this. If it was such a winning proposition, why is it that people are turning away from the agenda of Donald Trump if it was such a winning agenda? Somebody needs to put that in the chat for me. If Donald Trump's agenda was such a winning agenda, why are people turning away from his agenda? Somebody put it in the chat for me, because it's not it's not working. Apparently it's not working because people are turning away. So because I got to keep repeating it, tree cutter, because Donald Trump keeps repeating the garbage that he keeps repeating, and apparently y'all believe it. So I got to keep repeating the things that I repeat. That's the problem. In the richest country in the world, why is it that we can't have health care, we can't have food stamps, we can't have housing, we can't have any of these things in the richest country in the world, or free education for that matter? Why is it that we can't? Okay. Why is it that we can't? But yet we give money to Argentina, and then we give money to Israel, and their people have free health care, and their people have free food, free, I think it's insurance and something else they get free. I get that. Or education and healthcare. They get free education and free healthcare. Their country does. But we are the richest country in the world, but we can't. But we give them money so their people can have free healthcare and free education. I don't understand. So if we can do that for them, why couldn't we have it? Why couldn't we have it? No, it's not a matter of it's never free. It could be free if we did it. It could be free. Okay? It could be free. I'm all about being America first. But it is what it is. Nobody wants to give us free healthcare. Nobody wants to give us free education. But the countries that we're sending our money to, they got free healthcare and they got free education. Free doesn't mean trashy. That's the point. Free doesn't always mean trashy. But I have not heard anybody in the chat who can tell me what this big, beautiful bill has done for people who make between $30,000 and $150,000. I haven't heard it yet. Okay. I haven't heard one person say what this big, beautiful bill did for them in the chat. Okay. We get good free. My point exactly. Why couldn't we try to figure out how we can get free health care? Okay. Why couldn't we figure that out? Look at the crash out. Michael Stern. Look at the crash out. We ain't commie, motherfucker. Get a job, bitch. I'm not paying your shit. It's stupid. Do you see the tard crash out? Do you see the zombie crash out? Wow. The zombie crash out. That's crazy. Didn't you all just hear what wait a minute, hold on. Where's that damn, wait a minute, where is that? Damn. Where is she at? Let me see. Let me, hold on. I need to pay this. I need to play this one. Let me see if I got it. I gotta play this one. Where is she at? Where is she at? She was on here and I was like, ain't no way these people going for this. Here she is. Oh shit. Here she is. Hold on. Y'all wait right there. Wait right here. I got to play it. I got to play it. Where is it at? Here she is. I gotta play it. Cause I don't understand.
Please help me make sense of this. I'm going to try to keep my composure and not curse. Please help me understand. So, you're okay with your tax dollars going to a foreign country so that their citizens, all of their citizens, every single one, has free healthcare, free housing, free education, monthly payments to support their children. Their children get monthly payments from the government into a savings account. But what you do have a problem with is our own American citizens going hungry because you don't want your tax dollars going to people who can't afford food.
Yeah, you, Michael. You, Michael Stern. You. This is for you. Goofy, zombie.
Food. And healthcare. So we're going to have people hungry and dying in our country. So American. So American. But you're okay with sending money to a foreign country so that their citizens can live the life. You're okay with that. I don't hear you talking about that, though.
Hell no. Hell no. We don't hear them talking about that. We don't hear them talking about none of that. They don't care. They want their money to go over to Israel. They want their money to go over to Argentina. They don't care. They want to support the rich people. They in here caping for rich people. Talking about, if you poor, I don't want to give you no money for no health care. Listen to these people. Listen to the zombie, the way the Republican Party has got them zombified, that they actually defending paying for the rich people money.
So American. But you're okay with sending money to a foreign country so that their citizens can live the life. You're okay with that.
They okay with that. They over there caping for rich people. They caping for somebody that's not America first. That ain't America first. They caping for these rich people. I said to them, hey y'all, we the richest country in the world. Why can't we afford free healthcare and free education for our people? And they said, we ain't paying for your po commie ass. We ain't paying for your EBT. We ain't paying for X, Y, and Z. Licking the billionaire boots. And they poor as hell. And the billionaires ain't did jack shit for them. Ain't did jack shit for them.
I don't hear you talking about that, though. Because I think that that's just the hatred in your heart speaking. Because logically, that makes no fucking sense. It's stupid. It's fucking dumb for you to even think that way. And to be honest with you, I think your breath stinks. Because all you do is talk shit out of your mouth all fucking day. Oh. All day. It's all you do. And you sound ridiculous.
You sound wild as hell. You sound wild as hell when you get in here and you talk about defending rich people giving your money to Argentina and Israel, not putting America first. But you come in here and defend them giving away money, but you scared to give people money in your own country. Let's pay for the other people in the other country. Let's not worry about who's in America. No, we want to pay for the rich people. I'd rather pay for the rich people. I'd rather pay for another country to get health care and education for free than my own country. That right there is wild. That right there is wild to me. That's wild to me. That you would you make an excuse for somebody, for a foreign country to get your money than to pay for health care so everybody could get free health care here. That's wild. We didn't say nothing about rich people paying taxes, Suzer 7. We didn't say anything about paying taxes, Suzer 7. We said getting free health care and free education to our people instead of sending money over to foreign countries so their people get free health care and free education. That's what I said. Okay? That's what I said. I'm not understanding what's going on. I'm not understanding. Nothing's free. That's an ignorant statement. You're right. It's a very ignorant statement, Mike, that you just said. Very ignorant. But it is what it is. You all hit the like, share, and subscribe. We always have these scrambles when we come in. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. It was the Democrats' 16-year plan to destroy America. Of course, you guys lost your mind when Obama became president. We get it. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. We will be back here tomorrow with different content. We might even be at war tomorrow. With Venezuela. Okay? We might even be at war tomorrow with Venezuela. Wow, that's some news we might have tomorrow. Please like, share, subscribe. We will be back. We will be doing what we need to do tomorrow. We will have more content. This is not, as you can see, Craig, do you have your glasses on? Do you have your glasses on? Please put your glasses on because you need your glasses. Okay? Need your glasses. So if we're at war, I will definitely say so. I will definitely be on here to say so. My whole point is, please, someone put in the chat what this big, beautiful bill did for people who made between 30 and 150K. Please put in the chat what it did for you, because I just don't see it. And we will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate it. We are at war. I'm on your side. We are at war. I appreciate it. I do. Wait a minute. I wish I could go in and do X, Y, and Z. Hold on. Let me do something. Who was that person talking to me? Yeah, here it was. Okay. There you go. Are you still in here for chicken? Okay. Every time a Democrat took over, the economy got better. You all need to be asking why this president is not showing us the job numbers. If the job numbers were so outstanding, you have a wrench. If the job numbers were so outstanding, why isn't this president showing those standards? Why isn't he showing? That's all I'm asking. I'm asking a simple question. If the job numbers are amazing, why haven't we seen any since September when he fired the person who gave him the last set of numbers? I'm trying to work with your president. We're trying to work with your president, but he's not working with the rest of us. And yet again, it just might not work. I don't know. Your president, just a human being for the ages. It is what it is. It just is what it is. We have this content every evening. I usually have a something around 4 p.m. And then I have another thing around 9, 10 o'clock. So please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. We just come up with general topics that we like to talk about. You see, I just said 1, 2 things and they started crashing out in the chat. But it is what it is, guys. I appreciate it. You're welcome, Chicken Lipstick. You're welcome. You asked for it, we don't. Democrats don't want to sell arms to Israel. They just want to give money and arms to Ukraine. Wow. I will see you all tomorrow. I appreciate you showing up. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. We will be back tomorrow afternoon sometime, who knows? And then we will be back again in the evening time, late like this. But I appreciate all of you. I do.